here. My hello, hi everyone. This is Grace. We are here for another episode of Ebook Joint, and I'm not alone. Let me say I have an author with me. I have Millicent Nyangon. She's gonna be able to introduce herself in a minute and pronounce her name correctly if I did, because I always get it wrong.
No, you did it correct.
I know. And then we'll go from there. We're gonna take a few minutes break. And if you're watching us, you're out there watching us. You know, you can be able to invite friends, invite people out there so they can join us and talk about our book. We're going to be talking about this book right here. So if you're out there and you're watching us tonight, I'm requesting you to be able to share this video with your friends, invite people that that are out there. So we're going to take a few minutes to be able to settle ourselves down, and our guest for today to be able to settle down. And then after that, we're going to be able to continue. So a few minutes, we're just gonna watch a video that is here, and from there we're gonna go ahead and get started with our session for today. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna resume. Can you see me? Okay, I'm on the camera.
Yes.
Here we go. So as I said, I'm not alone today, and thank you for everyone who's watching us out there. So if you're out there and you're with us, watching with us, I would want you to be able to share this video with your friends and get people, because we're gonna be talking about this book and about our author for today. She's gonna introduce herself. Um, so in a minute, but her book is Bounce Back. My battle with systemic lupus. And so we're going to be talking about various topics about the book, why she wrote the book, and about the disease itself. So welcome, Millicent. Welcome to our
Thank
show.
you.
Thank you. So if you can take 1 minute and tell us more about yourself, like introduce yourself, where you're from, where you're from, where you are from in Kenya, and introduce yourself to our viewers. Welcome again to Ebook Joint.
Thank you so much for having me. Finally, we get to do this interview after many attempts. The
Yeah,
storms were what the first time the storm was on your end, the next time the storm was on our end. But finally,
yeah,
I know this is the day that we needed to do this. So thank you so
that's
much for having me in your show. As you have heard, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Millicent, last name Nyangon, middle name Adhiambo. I come from the country called Kenya, on the
yes,
region of the western side, Luo land called Uholo. I am a wife of one Miss Simon Yangon, very
okay,
handsome gentleman, a mother of two, Sifa and Joshua, all grown kids. I am an
yes,
author. I am an evangelist. I am a public speaker. I am a political strategist, communication strategist. I am a daughter, a friend. What else? I'm a businesswoman. I
yes.
am a coach of Kingdom Zumba, which I founded, and I'm the CEO of that company. And I'm here now.
Welcome, welcome. That's a good
Thank
introduction.
you.
I
Thank you.
usually I'm happy that we get to connect. As you said, there was a little bit of storms on my side, your side, but I'm
Hmm,
glad that you
hmm.
did survive the cold in Texas. You're from the state of
Thank
Texas,
you. Yes, from the
so
state
I'm
of
glad that
Texas. Yes.
yes. So I'm glad you were able to survive that cold and you're here with me today. And we just gonna get into the book and
Yes.
say that I love your energy and I love that you wrote this book. It talks about your experience and in every day when someone is diagnosed with a disease that you don't know, sometimes you go and they tell you systemic lupus. You have to go fast Google because you don't know what it means. Um,
Exactly.
the news is usually very devastating, and I can imagine how devastating it is for
Yes.
you. So, what was the reason why you don't have to go to the details why you wrote the book and why you felt that your story needed to be told in a book form.
Because one of the reasons why I wanted to put it in the book is because I needed somebody to be encouraged. I
Mhm.
knew that whatever was happening to me was not peculiar to myself.
Okay.
I understood that whatever happens to anybody, there's somebody else out there who's gone through it or somebody who's going to go through it.
Yes.
So I really wanted to be able to, while it's still fresh in my mind, so that I can share as to the journey, how I went
Okay.
through the journey, what did I do, the feelings, the emotions that were involved. I wanted I can just capture those while it's fresh in my mind,
Yes.
because after many many years you get to tell the story, but you get to sometimes forget the emotions, how what exactly you were feeling. So so that was one of the reasons, and also because it was such a devastating time, like just boom, I was diagnosed with this. So I wanted to people to understand that good things, bad things do happen to good people. I consider myself good.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to encourage somebody, to really, bottom line, to encourage somebody, and also to make sure this experience that I went through is immortalized in a book. Books are the ones that really immortalize stories, because we
Yes.
read history books which have capsulated episodes that happened maybe 200 years ago,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
That's you keep something alive even after we are gone. So I wanted the whole testimony or story to be alive even when I'm away.
Okay. Um, yeah, thank you for saying that book are immortals. Once you write a book, it lives
Yeah.
on beyond you. Someone else in the future can read it and be able to say it. So thank you so much for writing it and being able to give your story through this book. Um, you know, um, and you felt that you needed to be able to to write it and be able to encourage someone, maybe someone down the line may be diagnosed with the same disease that you have, and they don't know what to do. So thank you so much. And as I read the book, it's a good book. It's not a big read, and for me, for
Yes.
an African, I think it's a good thing that it has You can read it quickly. 'Cause,
Many people,
it was a
many fellow Africans have told me, "Thank you for writing a small book." You know,
yeah,
I can read it. I can read it quickly and finish. You know, and I
yeah,
was like, "That's interesting." I was thinking it's really rather small. You know, I
yeah,
thought
yeah,
that's going to be a very small book, but apparently many were happy that it was a small book. Of course, there
yeah.
are some parts of the whole process that I didn't put in the book. It will come probably in another book.
Okay.
Other parts of the whole disease and the side effects of it and the things I
Yeah,
had to deal with as a result of medication or just the side effects of having that particular condition in the body. But as you said, it's very small. It's easy read.
yeah.
It's really
It's
not
an easy read. Yeah,
complicated. You can sit
yeah,
even in a flight, and by the time you arrive, you're done, you're finished.
yeah, man.
There's a
Yeah,
nurse who is a friend of mine who was telling me that she started reading it in her break and she didn't want to stop. So,
yeah,
when she got a little time, she was reading it, and then it reached a place now she want to know how it's ending. So she told me she had to go and hide in the restroom to, to,
yeah,
to finish reading the book and then come back
yeah,
come back on her desk. So I'm
yeah,
grateful that people can just get it and just go through what I went through in 3 years. They can actually
yeah.
read it in about an hour, and they get the gist of it all.
Okay, yeah, that's true. I
Mhm.
mean, reading the book, you are able to connect with the author because you are able to identify with the issues. I can say that I was able to identify with the struggles that you were going through at that time when you were diagnosed. Maybe we can talk a little bit about the disease itself and a little bit of synopsis of how you were diagnosed and how you came to know that and some of the struggles that you went through after you were diagnosed.
Um, well, it's an autoimmune disease,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
in a nutshell, your white blood cells, which is supposed to be helping you, is eating up your body. So it's
Okay.
like your whole system is actually messed up. That's why it's called. There are very many types of lupus, but this particular one
Yeah.
is systemic. It's
Okay.
systemic lupus erythropoiesis, hard word. It's SLE. Okay,
It's
so that
yeah.
the word systemic itself will let you know that it is an enemy of the entire system, your
Okay.
entire body system, from your brains all the way to
Mm.
your feet. Okay, so every part of your body is literally attacked by
Okay.
the disease. Yeah. So your system, which is supposed to help you, now has completely. It's like a computer that has gotten a virus. So now it's not. It's confused. So it's going
Yeah.
after the healthy organs, the healthy. Instead of fighting disease, it's going after the healthy organs. For me, it started off with a rash on my nose
Okay.
that when I saw my observation in the book, it just looks like an allergy. And
Okay.
so, and after that, it just became worse. It just became worse. My nose grew and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
so, when the doctor saw me in my worst state, because at the beginning she said, it's March, so it's allergy. But
Okay.
when I went back to see her after some few weeks, she told me, no, this is more than an allergy, because
Okay.
the rashes had gone to my eyebrows and literally wiped out my eyebrows. So the rashes came up like this, and she told me
Okay.
that because they have formed a form of a butterfly, that
Yeah.
is an indicator that I was suffering from an autoimmune disease.
Mm. Okay.
But so she sent me to a rheumatologist who, it took a while. I write about the journey of looking for a rheumatologist, finally getting the rheumatologist. And they
Yeah.
did a lot of blood work, 3 days worth of blood work to
Yeah.
finally figure it out and come and tell me systemic lupus. By the time I was going into hospital, I
Yeah.
looked like the way the cover is. I
Yeah.
literally, you could not recognize who I was. That was me. have no
Okay.
hair, fully grown, oversized nose. My face was like the skin of a frog. I was just, and I was as weak as, I was so weak, I couldn't open up a water bottle. Opening
Yeah.
up the door of the car was a problem. The disease had eaten up my system so much that my strength so much that even going to the restroom was a problem. Showering was a problem. So I just had to. I mean, it was devastating. I was just completely a different person
Yeah.
from a very active person, very go-getter kind of person to a person who now have to be helped. You know,
Yeah.
I had to be helped.
Okay. Okay.
It reached a place my eyes were affected by all this. So even having an interview like this with you, with the lights, the way I put
Yeah.
the lights on, would have been a problem. I would actually be wearing shades. Because I remember one time I was invited to, before I became very, very worse, I was invited
Yeah.
to go speak in a meeting, in a women's conference. And I had to put on shades as I'm preaching because the fluorescent lights were very, very, they were hurting my eyes.
Yeah.
So it's a disease that for me, I had never seen anybody with. I'd had one lady, apart from one lady who had said she's had lupus, but her, you couldn't tell. As I said, there are very many different types of lupus.
Yeah.
But for this, I'd never seen anybody with this kind of mess on their face. I'd never seen anybody looking like this, nobody in our family. So it was really, as my family had never met anybody with this. So it was a new journey for us, but I'm grateful to God that it took about 3 years, 2.5 years for me to be able to even go back to speaking. So for
Okay.
2.5 years, I didn't do what I normally do. I stopped business. I stopped going out to the conferences to speak. I stopped preaching in churches. I was just home getting
Yeah.
well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's a devastating diagnosis in itself, not
Yeah.
knowing. I think the main issue of any disease, when you go in and the doctor tells you you have something, not knowing what lies ahead is really hard. Um, and, you talk a lot about the support that you got. If
Yeah.
you want to get into that, maybe you can share a little bit of the support that you got and how you were able to navigate the issues and the problem that you were having. I see you speak about the community, about your family and how they were supportive. If you can share with our viewers, because I know sometimes it's when you get a new diagnosis, you really don't know who do I share with, who do I talk
Yeah.
to, who do I confide with. If maybe you can share a little bit of that will maybe help someone out there maybe who's dealing with an issue about a diagnosis.
Yeah. So, as you said, getting a diagnosis of a disease that you just don't know how the future is one thing. Getting a diagnosis and then you're told, we'll give you medication, at least gives you hope. But now with this diagnosis, I was like, they told me, this is your diagnosis and we have no cure. So those are two things that you are dealing with, that, oh my goodness. So when I got admitted in the hospital, a nurse came to my room, who comes from Kenya, because she saw my name and she could tell this name is a Kenyan name. And she came to my room and asked me, "You're Kenyan?" And I told her, "Yes, I'm a Kenyan." And so why she did that is because she told me that there are many times there are foreigners come, to this nation of America. They get sick. They don't have family. They don't have friends. They have nobody, no support system. They get sick and nobody gets to know. So she had made it her business to make sure if there's anybody uh, who is admitted and is a foreigner, that she would get to know if they can call somebody for them. So
Okay.
she asked me, and I told her, yes, I'm a Kenyan. And I told her, maybe you already know me. And she said, oh, I don't think I do. Because you remember, I didn't look recognizable. So I
Yeah.
told her, if you live in Dallas, you know me. because I've spoken in quite a number of conferences in Dallas, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then then when I showed her a picture of my before, she said, "Oh my goodness, Evangelist Millicent, this is you?" I said, "Yeah, this is me." She was shocked.
Yeah.
So when she went back to her dad, she told this one lady who's called Rahab, who also works in this place, and she told her about the fact that I am admitted on that floor. So a friend of mine came to see me, and I told her, now that now please tell the first ladies, the pastors' wives, because I know many of them in the scene in our city. Let them know I'm here, and so she did that. She went and told their fellowship. She went and told her pastor's wife, her own, on their church and that church. And so that's how I started getting, people started praying for me. That's how people got to know that I'm in the hospital. And then I have a fellowship that a group of friends, very close knit friends that we meet every month as a fellowship, and we've known each other for a very, very long time, for as long as we've been in this nation, over 20 years. And so they, of course, they got to know about it because they're my fellowship. And so it was that's how my support system was built. So I had this group for me. Word was, spread from Dallas into Kansas, into various cities that I've spoken to in before. And so there's the prayer team was raised that way. And then my neat group of friends, my close group of friends now used to see me, come and pray with me, support everything we needed. They brought fellowship to my house because we normally rotate the fellowship, to various houses. My immune system was lowered. There was no way I was going to go out there and be with anybody. So they came to my house, to our house for fellowship every single, for all those 3 years. In fact, so we just started rotating to their houses just maybe last year. Not last year. Last year we didn't do anything. 2019, 2019, late 2018, we started now being able to rotate. So that was the support system. And of course, the inner family, which was, they were with me. My husband, oh my gosh, he cooked, he cleaned, helped with our daughter. And, summer came, and so he would cook and my daughter would serve, My son came back from college for break, and he was also shocked because he had left his mother. We had dropped him just that beginning of that year to college. And so it was I didn't do it alone. Everybody around me was positive. Everybody had the word of God, just, speaking word. They were just speaking possibility. They were just speaking, by the stripes of Jesus, you are healed. You are already healed. They felt the pain. They were unsure. It was frightening, but they knew that as long as they are around me, it's faith. We're going to speak as though I looked terrible, One time even I had to have surgery on my leg, so I'm over here, hop, skip, jump. My face looked like I told you, like a frog skin. I have no hair, but everybody's like, "Oh yes, we're going to make it. We are winning," So it was a journey that was, everybody just came in and did that. I deliberately did not want too many people like in the inner circle, because I understand that everybody's faith is in a different place. So the reason why I never showed myself on social media, I didn't shut down, but I never posted in Facebook, Instagram, nothing. I just gave social media blackout, because I wanted my healing to be private, and I didn't want anybody so shocked, that if evangelist is suffering this, the evangelist, you know, is
yeah,
going through this, who am I? You know, I'm the one who
yeah,
calls the evangelist to pray for me. If the evangelist is sick, you know. So
yeah,
I knew that for some people it was going to be devastating for them, you know.
yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
want them to lose faith. I wanted to come back to the scene when now I have a testimony, you know.
that's, yes,
So those are some deliberately, intentionally did, so that I can concentrate. I can concentrate on my getting better, and so that my energy is not being spread out there, you know, trying
yeah,
to explain to everybody what was happening to me when I don't even understand what
yeah.
exactly is happening to me. Yeah.
Wow. Let me say that that's very empowering and very good to know. And a lot of wisdom in the words that you have just said, that sometimes it's not good to be able to to get everyone in the inner circle, because I know sometimes in our community we do want, they do want to help, and sometimes when you're sick you really want to preserve that energy. As a nurse, I'm
Mm,
coming from that point of being, you need that to
yeah.
preserve that energy to be able to get well. So thank you
Yeah.
for pointing that, and pointing out that the community and the church as a whole, and having a set of faith, that when you get a diagnosis, like you did, you have a set of faith, people who can believe in you, who can pray for you, you can share with, and and you do talk a lot about that. So our viewers, those who are watching us, we are talking about this book, Bounce Back. We're gonna be talking where you can get it. We don't want to talk about the whole book, because I usually say that I don't want to get the genie out of the bottle. I want you to be able to get the book and read it for yourself. So that's why we don't go into details about talking about the actual book, but we do want to talk to our author, and she looks well. So if you want to share the testimony of how are you feeling now, if you want to tell us that, Millicent, that will be the next question that I can ask you. How are you feeling? I always see you and you have a lot of energy. I love your energy on Zumba. So if you want to share how you feel now, and how far you've come, that would be good.
So I'm not getting you well there. I think there was a connection problem, but you were asking how I was, or how am I feeling now? Well,
Yes.
I'm, I'm strong. One of the things that happens when God intervenes, you do what you can, what you're supposed to do, and leave the rest to the Lord. It surprises you. It really
Yes.
does surprise you. So
Mm.
after many years of seeing my rheumatologist and all that, I was told that my energy is this little, and I might not be able to do a whole lot of things that I was doing before. And so
Yeah.
the rheumatologist, of course, encouraged me to exercise so that my muscles can come back. But when I went to see the rheumatologist just about 2 years ago, she looked at me and she told me, "I don't know where you're getting the energy from, because the things you're doing, this Kingdom Zumba you're doing, you
Yeah.
really are not supposed to be able to do this. You're not,
Yeah.
according to the books and according to science, that's not the kind of energy you really are supposed to be having after you have been hit with lupus, and you're still taking medications of lupus and all." So I still take medicine, I've got
Yeah.
down to 2 medications, but the energy I have, I can just say it's just by the grace of God, by the grace of God, that I can be able to even be a coach coach. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm feeling well. I feel well. When sometimes I wake up and feel pain in my body, I know what to do. I know that I have to sleep enough. I know what kind of foods to eat and which one not to. And so I can say, I am doing well. I am blessed. I'm doing well. I just thank God that, I'm alive to tell the story.
That's true.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good to hear that testimony. Can you hear me now? Or I'm
Yes,
still
yes,
breaking
yes,
out.
yes.
Yeah, it's good to hear that. You're doing Kingdom Zoom. You have so much energy that I admire you, and I say, I wish I can dance the way she danced. Um,
I started dancing when I was a toddler. I come from a
uh,
musical family, musical in the
yeah.
sense that not that we play instruments, we dance. So I started
Okay.
listening to my father used to play records, the days when there were records. That's when I grew. I was raised. So every time he was off duty, he would put music,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
would be dancing and encourage us to dance. So music is something that I really really like, and especially now with gospel music. I'm born again, so now inspirational music, gospel music. That's
Yeah.
I literally in my house I can have a party all by myself. I just put YouTube, and I don't care who else in the family is ready for a party. I just
Yeah.
have my own celebration,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you know what? It's God for us all. Man for himself, God for us all. I get to know God for myself. I
Yes.
need to celebrate. I need to, with music, because music became my way of exercising. I actually am the one who needs the exercise. You see, in this Kingdom
Yeah.
Zumba, I tell people I need the exercise. And sometimes they think it's just a marketing strategy. No, it's the
Yeah.
real deal. I have to exercise so that all my muscles can continue to be strong. So
Yeah.
so so that energy, can only say it's the grace of God.
That's good.
Mhm.
Um, so our viewers, if you're there, you're talking about this book. Soon she's gonna tell us where we can get the book. Where you can buy the book. I want people to go buy this book. And as I said at the beginning, it's a very, very good book, right book. You can read it, sit down and read it. It's an African, it's made for Africans, for us for the people who usually tell me, Grace, how do you get yourself to read a book? And I usually tell them, sometimes you have to sacrifice some things for you to be able to read. And for me, I started sacrificing some things that I really thought that were, that I would call people and we would talk about nothing for hours. And sometimes when you want to do something, those were some of the things that I gave up. That I don't call people just to talk about nothing. I call someone when I
Yeah.
know we're gonna be talking about something productive. And the other times when I really I take a book and I read. And
Mm.
this is how I got to grow my passion about reading and getting myself connected with, people like Millicent who write books and who has written a book. So my friends, I just want to tell you, if you're watching me, go get a book. Go start with this one. I would tell you you have to start with this one because it doesn't have a lot of pages. So
Mhm.
Millicent, where can we buy this book?
You can
You
get
can
it
tell us.
from we can get it from Pendazi. Is it pendazi.com, and you can also get it
Yeah.
from Amazon. And I'm so glad that we had this interview today, because I've just gotten onto your platform,
Yes,
the
yes, yeah,
Pendazi platform. And so we can put for them the link, and
yes,
how to get it from your platform. I'm excited to be on your platform of e-commerce. And Amazon.com there. And you can also inbox me direct, and I have
yes.
some books live with me, and I will sign a book and send it to you. If you contact me, I'll get one signed for you, and I'll mail it. Yeah. And
Okay.
it's not expensive. It's a pretty easy on the pocket, easy to read, easy on the eyes. As she said, good for some of us Africans to read. It's a story. It's said in a story form, and so you get the encouragement. And I hope that by the time you finish reading this, you can be able to give it to somebody and encourage somebody. I just want everybody to not lose hope on their journey, no matter what their journey looks like, no matter whether they find themselves between a rock and a hard place. And nowadays, I even say there are times you feel like you're between a rock and a rock, leave alone a rock and a hard place. You feel like you're
That's
between
true.
a rock and backed up in a corner. So you are like, now how? How? When? By
How?
who?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that those who, when, why, how, all that, when you read my book, you'll be like, okay, I'm just going to focus on my healing, or focus on my breakthrough, or focus on how to get out of this mess, and
Yeah.
that they will be able to apply that in their own journey and smile while they do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I decided that I was going to walk through this journey as bad as I was looking, but I was going to smile because, my smile was still beautiful. So I said I was just going to smile all the way to my healing. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Those are very encouraging words. I mean, sometimes it's when you're caught in that place, you really don't know if you want to smile or you get depressed or you
Yeah.
don't know how to deal with some situations. You really find yourself wondering, how do I deal with this? But it's very encouraging, and that's why, I love authors who give their own personal stories, because you encourage someone. You tell someone
Yeah.
who might be going through something like this, that they can also overcome and they can get better.
Yeah.
So we did talk about where you can get the book. So I'm going to put the link for the book. It's on my website, pendazi.com, on our platform. You can get it from there, and
Yeah.
you can also get it from Amazon. So I'm going to share both links. And I'm also going to ask Millicent to share with us any other projects she's doing. I know you spoke about Kingdom Zumba. You can tell
Yeah.
us when we can see Kingdom Zumba and how we can be able to watch that. Anything else you sell, any side hustles, and any other businesses that you do.
Yeah, thank you for that. And so I just want to thank everybody in advance, because I know you're going to go get that book, and really thank you. It's really something for me to have even managed to write the book. It took me a while, but I'm grateful that I have that. I also started Kingdom Zumba. It's a registered business. Kingdom Zumba came when I needed the exercise, and it's all about the kind of music that I play when we're doing exercise. It's really cardio, like 100% cardio. You come for Kingdom Zumba, you're sweating. You're gonna
Yeah,
sweat. It's all flexibility. We raise those legs, we go down, we come back up. We do what we call katika. We really work every muscle in your body, the love handles on the side, everything,
yeah,
everything. I tell people when I start King that we're going to work out from the top of our head to a little toe. Every part of your body is going to get an exercise. Beautiful music. I use gospel music. That's why it's Kingdom. It's gospel music, because one thing I learned is that you can't only work out your body, you got to work out body, spirit, soul. And the kind of music you choose is really very important. Music in itself has life in it. It's a
yeah,
spirit. So for me, very, very, very important the kind of music I play. Without you knowing, it's into your spirit, and it gives you more. For some people have told me that when I come for Kingdom Zumba, I feel just energized to continue. Yes, because the kind of music, I'm not playing hard music, metal music, or that words that are coming out of the music is not negative. So it's not hitting your spirit in a negative way. It's motivating your spirit. It's inspiring you. Even when it's in other languages that you don't understand, as long as it is the gospel music and it's word of life, and we are exercising, you're getting all that, your mind, your body, your spirit. So we meet every Tuesday and Thursday and Sunday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 9 Eastern. Every Tuesday, every Thursday, and every Sunday. and unless otherwise stated. And if something happens and we're not going to meet, I always announce, but we are there every those 3 days. It's free. It's online. It's on my page, Millicent Nyangon. If you're not my friend, request and I will accept, so that it's public, so you can catch me and we go live. I also have a page called Kingdom Zumba page on Facebook. You go there, you get recorded videos over there, and all the merchandise that I sell connected with Kingdom Zumba. I have a ministry called Recover All Ministries and RAM. And so with both Kingdom Zumba and RAM, I sell T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, leggings. For the exercise for Kingdom Zumba, you get your leggings from our company. You get the T-shirts there written Kingdom Zumba. So you can go to Kingdom Zumba page. You will see all these. My website is just getting ready. I'll share that when it's ready. But you can get every single merchandise by just inboxing me and letting me know which one you want. I also am an independent distributor with Organo Gold, a company that sells beverages, organic beverages. So I have that. You go to superstar.myorganogold.com. You click on that and you find all beverages, very, very good coffee, tea, all organic, all herbal, and lotions, name it, face creams are on that platform. It's again superstar.myorganogold.com. I wish I could type it. Yeah. So that's two things. I speak in conferences. So if you need a speaker on your conferences, you contact me, and we take it from there. So what else did I forget? Nothing. I coach people. So if you want one-on-one life coach, I am one of those. And so you can also contact me. Help you to bounce back from whatever it is that is holding you down. I realize people don't want to get up when they are down.
That's true.
They need a coach to say, oh yeah, get up.
Yeah.
Cry, but let's get up, because we got to get to getting here. You got to get to reach your destiny. You have to discover what your gift is. I'm very passionate in making sure that people who are willing find their gifts and talents and ability. And when we find what is your gift, your talent and ability, we want to focus so that if you're starting a business, your business is around your strength. Whatever business you're starting, your business must be focused around your gift, your talent, your ability. If you're looking for a job or you're thinking about going to college and you don't know what to study, we start off by what is your gifting, what is your talent, and what is your ability. And we figure out which course you can do that will bring that out. Because when you operate within those three, Grace, you flourish. It's inevitable. Yes. But if you say, I'm going here because there's money, I ask people, that's not the only place there's money. Everybody is paid money. Even me, when I speak, I'm paid money. We are all paid money, right? But if you're in an area of gifting, an area of talent and ability, you are free above the rest because you're operating in a God-given natural, aptitude, you see? And if you now add training to that, I'm a political science strategist. When you are in political science, you got to know how to strategize, help people, get crowds, talk to people, sell their ideas, do policy. When you're an evangelist, you're not going to be an evangelist of the kingdom if you're not going to go out there and sell Jesus. Tell people why Jesus, what are the benefits of Jesus, why heaven and no hell. This is the winning team. Hello, come on in. Registration is open here in Jesus' kingdom. You see, so I I flourish as an evangelist and as a speaker because I operate within my gifts. My God given me the gift of gab. Yeah. So when I went to college, I went to do communication too,
Yeah.
so that I can know how to rearrange my sentences, because I'll be speaking for the rest of my life. You see, so
Yeah.
that's my passion. That's what I do when it comes to one-on-one coaching. Just,
Okay.
hey, just make people discover who they really are, so
That's
that they
true.
stop, so they start operating in that anointing that they have.
Thank you. Thank you. That, yes, you just inspired someone today. And
Yeah,
I can read some of the comments people are
yeah.
making, and, some of them are saying, really, I see Emma Joseph who say, true, just gonna keep reading that book till the end. It's, wow, what a strong woman of faith. So those are, some of the comments that are
Thank
coming
you.
in. Great testimony. Praise God. That's Ann
Thank you.
Wilson.
Hallelujah.
I see Lydia Wambua. She said, Amen. Yes, so much encouraging. It's very
Amen.
encouraging. Dorothy Mwendoa says, Amen. Very inspiring. So those are some of the
Thank
comments that
you.
are coming in, and I'm so delighted that today you are you are able to encourage someone. Sometimes we feel like you know um God gives you a chance, like being here and talking about this book. You are able to encourage someone and inspire someone to be able to know that even getting a difficult diagnosis, you can overcome, you can become
Yes.
the other side. I'm now seeing a very strong woman. I've met you after you have come from, I didn't meet you before lupus, but I've met you after lupus, and now I meet a very strong and a very inspirational woman. So sometimes God takes us through something for us to come out the other side and be even stronger. So thank you so much, and thank you for writing the book, and thank you for taking time to be here.
Thank
Again, our
you.
viewers, we are talking about this book. So if you can see it, it's right here. You can see the cover. You can buy it on Amazon. I encourage you to get it, to promote our author and to be able to read it, because it's very inspiration. It has very good information when you have a tough diagnosis, when you have been given a blow about a tough diagnosis, how you deal with it and how she overcame. That might be a story that inspires you, if that, something like that comes up first. So I don't know if there's anything else you want to add, Millicent. Anything else, maybe a word of encouragement that you want to tell someone out there, that we can finalize. We are almost coming to an end of our session, but if there is any word, anything that you just want to mention to someone out there who's maybe going through something at this moment, maybe, a word of encouragement.
In the book, at the back of the book, right here, as I was writing the book, this quote, God gives me quotes every now and then. There's a quote there, and that quote says, when life throws you a curve ball, catch it and change the game.
Wow.
So life has a way of always throwing you a curveball. You're going this direction. You are ready to just, hey, rock and roll on this direction. But once, every now and then, the life will throw you a curveball. Many of us, when the unexpected happens, we find ourselves knocked out and knocked down.
Yes.
What I have learned is, when you see that curveball thrown at you, and all of a sudden something that you are not planning to go through has happened, catch that. Okay, meaning sit with that reality. Yes, it has happened. You cannot be in denial. You must sit with that diagnosis. You sit with that reality, whatever it is that's happening in your life. Maybe it's a relationship problem. Maybe sit with that reality. Catch that ball. And once you catch that ball, then you do what? You change the game. Meaning, what the devil meant for evil,
Yes.
just get it and say, God, I know I can come out of this better than I went in.
Yes.
Believe for better. Stand
Yeah.
in the word of God. Trust the Lord, because you know what? He specializes in the impossibilities. You must change your mindset. That's how you change the game. You change from being a victim to a victor. You are already blessed as it is. You are already more than a conqueror. You know, Grace, the Bible tells us, you know, we are more than a conqueror in Christ Jesus. When I look at that word, that means God is already telling us in direct that there is something to conquer.
Yes.
Well, it has just hit you. That is what you are going to be conquering. Whatever curveball the enemy has given to you, that's when you get into the conquering mode. That's when you stand in that word and start declaring, I am more than a conqueror. And Holy Spirit, hold my hands that I may walk through this. Because remember, the promise is, I am with you.
Yes.
I will never leave you, never
Yep.
ever forsake you. So David said, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. And that's what I want to encourage everybody. No matter what you're going through, remember one thing: Christ, God, is with you. He'll never leave you. He'll never forsake you. And so right inside that valley, you are already more than a conqueror, because he and you are the majority.
That's true.
Amen.
Okay. So thank you so much. As I said, we are coming to an end, and you know, again, the book can be found on Amazon. I see Josie said definitely she'll get the book. We're seeing people saying they're gonna get the book. That's why we don't want to talk into details of of this book, because I want people to be able to go get it and read it for themselves. Um,
Yes.
One word about books and reading, and as I said earlier, is that I've come to be able to say that, to get myself into reading. And you have to be able to, this new year, there's a lot that is happening.
Yes.
It's a new year, and I mean, as we open up and the country opens up, as COVID comes maybe to an end, we find that we are going back to the way life used to be. We are so used, we get used to one thing, and then it changes, and then we go back to a different thing, and it just seems like it's a lot of change. And one of the few things that I've learned about change is that, you have to be adaptable with
Yeah.
change. Whatever comes your way, you have to be able to adopt and to be able to change yourself into that change. And when I see myself right now, and when I read a book like this, I see a woman who has been able to adapt herself with whatever happened, the diagnosis that came, and she was able to adopt herself and change with the situation that came, and she's even a better version of who she was before this.
Amen.
So I just want to say, as I get myself into reading books, I've gotten myself, COVID came and inspired me to be able to read, inspired me to be able to connect with others, inspired me to be able to take a different journey in my life. And a few of my friends and I usually say that for me, this was out of my comfort zone. I'm not a speaker like you. I'm not I'm not out there. I'm not a public person, but it was out of my comfort zone that I got myself out of that comfort zone, and I said, you know what, I will do
Yes.
this. And as you said, that once you connect with whatever your passion is, and whatever your calling is, and whatever your purpose is in life, you
Yeah.
enjoy it, and it becomes a passion. So for me, this is a passion, and I
Yes.
usually I can say that this is my calling. This is what I love doing. And so it was nice to connect with you. It was nice to talk to you about your book. It was nice of you to write a book. I
Thank
want to say thank you for writing a book.
you.
My passion is to be able to go out there and tell our communities that we do have others who have written books. They don't write them for anybody else. They write it for our community to be able to read
Yes.
these books, and use that information to make our communities better. And so
Yes.
if you get a chance, get this book. You don't have to get it from my platform. You can get it on Amazon. Get this book, read it. Don't just get it, because I know some people who get books and they pile them somewhere. They don't read them. So once you get it and read it. And I look forward to the next session, which will be coming in 2 weeks, and we're going to have another author. And I will be, I'm more than happy, and I'm very delighted that you were able to join us, Millicent.
Thank you.
I would definitely, you shared a lot of information. If I get a chance, I will share it about Kingdom Zuma and how people can connect with you. They can,
Yeah.
they can come to your profile, they can search up your name and connect
Yeah.
with you. People can get your book. And, thank you so much for taking your time. And
Thank you.
I hope Texas is warming up. So
Oh yeah, it's hot now. Today it was cold, but Texas goes from 50 to 90, like June,
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it was warm enough today. Yeah.
So, okay. Even as I mean,
Thank you so
even as
much.
we go back and forth between warm and cold. Tomorrow is gonna be
Ah,
freezing, and today was it was a beautiful day. So it's the season and the weather the way it is. So
exactly.
thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Is
Thank
there
you for
anything else
having
you
me.
wanna say?
No, thank you for having me. I just wanted to, thank you for stepping out of your comfort zone, because clearly this is your passion. And that's what I was talking about. Once sometimes you might think, oh, I'm not really a public person, but then you flourish because you
Yes,
are in your passion. You're in
yes,
your ability. This is in your ability section right now. You are the one who's reading the books. So it's for you, it's not just another program. It is
mm,
literally what has become you. So that's why
yes.
you're flourishing in this. So thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I just want to take a minute and give shout out to people who joined us. Emma Joseph, Wairimo Wachege, I see, and Wilson Minor, Ann Carroll, Jane Jaggi, Lydia Wambua, Dorothy Mwendwa, Josie S. Everyone who was able to join us and comment on our sessions. Thank you so much for taking your time. If you have any questions, I don't think we have time to be able to ask questions, but if you do have any questions, if you really want to reach out and you have any questions, especially about the disease and the management and, how you can get support. She's someone who has gone through, if you have gotten these diagnoses and you really don't know where to start and you're feeling so overwhelmed, she's a resource that you can use. So I just wanted to say, if you're there, I didn't give a chance to ask questions, but if you're there and you really want to ask you really want to ask our Millicent about how to go about the disease, I would want you to ask. You can DM me, you can direct message Millicent, you can reach out to her. Again, thank you so much, and I look forward to
Thank
the
you.
next session. And you have a good night. We will see
Good
you in
night.
2 weeks,
Thank
and may the
you.
Lord, may the good God bless you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.